This video is going to show one of the tools that I use for like collaborative planning updates, and they're digital tools. There's like one really, really important thing that I've learned along the way is not every team falls in love with every tool. And this is why I'm going to go through three different tools, which is Mural, Microsoft Planner, and Trello. My favorite is Trello and Mural, but it all really kind of depends on the team, what kind of services they have, and what kind of tool what kind of functionality they really need and are happy to use. And so another really important thing here is one person needs to like own the tool. And what I mean by own the tool, I mean they're the person that in every meeting they're pulling it up on the screen, they're putting it up on the monitor in the meeting room, whatever that is. If you're meeting remotely, that one person is driving all the time. So that means you probably got to have a better command of the tool than the rest of the team. And also that you're very flexible in that in order to get people to buy in and actually use the tool and experience the benefits that you're seeking, you've got to take input from the team members and adjust it accordingly. So I'm going to go over right now is Trello, and I'm using a former example that I use for coordinating a pretty awesome event, the Texas Construction Careers Initiative here in San Antonio. And my favorite is Trello. So here we go. We got the Trello board up. You can see I haven't done a good job of maintaining it, but that's what it is. Basically, you'll get like a clean board, blank board, and you can create these dealies, or what I call buckets. So these gray deals, you see how flexible they are? You do that by clicking add another task. And so I like to keep it super simple. Here are the tasks. This is where the library of tasks would go. Rockstar tasks. Here are the list of tasks that every team member is responsible for, and more appropriately, every task that needs to be completed in order to like experience or to provide an awesome experience for all these high students who are bringing in, which by the way, it was super awesome. And we got a big one coming up. And so it's just task, doing, and done. And ideally here in the doing section is the one task each team member is going to be working on between the previous meeting and the next meeting. And so there's another important element there is having a regular cadence to check in on these things. That could be a daily cadence. If you're interested in Scrum or want to get like a little more not complex, but a little more juicy stuff to help you with your productivity, totally recommend Scrum, and maybe I'll make a video about that someday. But today, I'm keeping it simple. Regular meetings, in this case, we're meeting once a month. And then once we got within 90 days of the event, we're meeting every 2 weeks to make sure things were getting done. We're tracking right along. And as I described in the opening, what I discovered was I love Trello. But we have a lot of files, a lot of documents, a lot of sponsor logos and stuff. And you can save those here, but you got to do 3 or 4 clicks to find the darn thing. And there was another tool, Mural, which we'll have another video of that, where you could just display everything like super visual. And most of the team was using that. So I said, okay, well, let's go to Mural. Again, speaking to the flexibility. So first thing you want to do is create your buckets. Task, doing, done, or you can call this to do, and this is doing, this is done. If you want to add another list, because some people have different problems, different issues, you just click over here, click on add another list, and we're just going to call this extra list. Or you know what? For this case, we're going to call it future ideas, because we always have old ideas, right? And it's kind of scary to think we're going to lose them. Anyhow, so I want to show you something on the cards. I think you've already seen like it's super easy to move them from to do to doing, then from doing to done. Ideally, you're not stacking more than one task per person, but that's again, that's a preference type thing. I will say that your productivity will go up if you focus on one thing at a time. Now, you can see all these pretty colors and all these words in at the top of the box. And the way I create that, so I'll create like I'm going to add a card in the bucket. So here's the card. We're going to say create video demonstration. Boom. So now I have that card, but who's going to own it, right? And so here is where you get some of the other magical stuff. You click on the box, it'll open right up, and I'm going to go to labels. Boom, there's all the labels. And these are not pre-populated. You will get a blank, clear set of labels with all these colors. And then if I want to change, so Gabe was the build competition rock star, and he really was a rock star. But let's say he steps out of the team, and we got Caitlin is going to be the build competition rock star. Boom, there it is. Now I've changed the card and who it is. And so if this is like specifically for your team, if you're in construction, you can track it by project name, you can track it by the responsible individual or your direct reports. You really can put any name you want in there. Again, I recommend having a brainstorming session with your team before you go hot and heavy, and show them, get an idea of what you want to do. Like we everybody's a rock star on this team, and so we added that, and it just kind of added an element of fun. It's okay. That's how you add labels. And now you can tell at a glance, right? Like the colors, the names, and the different tasks that need to be done. I can see right now, Sean is working on distributing gear and clipboards. Lisa is collecting cash. And Gabe he's managing the requirements for the home build. And Jesse here, he's doing a video demonstration. And what a coincidence. I just happen to be the Hall of Fame rock star. And then again, like I said, if we're going through it, we'll move it. And like for real, I love this. And you can see there's a bunch of people that are on this team, but I was kind of like the only one that came in here and managed it and updated it and moved things around. And that's okay. The beautiful thing about it is like all of these things that had to be done, it was very clear to everybody what needed to be done. And if they got ahead on tasks, they could come in here and find the next task that they need to work on and move it to doing, or they could move it to done, indicating the task is already complete. And so the super valuable part for that on that end is I don't have to be bugging them, right? Like I want to know what status is, and I don't need to be calling 11 people, even though I'd love to because I'm a social guy. But that's disruptive to their day. And so when we get in the discipline of using this thing, all I have to do is come here to see where things are. And if things are clicking right along, no problem. If things are stuck, awesome. I can tell somebody's stuck and I can check in with them and see what they need to go forward. There's a lot more functionality to this tool, but that's the fundamental value. And if you want to like learn more about all of the stuff in there, or maybe the team dynamics, I'm happy to help with that. Just leave me a message, give me a shout, and I'd be happy to connect. Be cool, and we'll talk at you next time. Peace.